It was really a great pleasure for me to introduce Liz Donahue, whose name has now changed to Liz Donahue Wheeler for a good reason. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the background of Liz, who some of you have had the opportunity to...
You can skip the internet.
Oh, don't be so modest. It won't take that long. I'm not going to talk about your marriage. You can talk about that. So Liz is the director of something called the Coordination of Rare Diseases, otherwise known as CORDS, at the Sanford Research Institute in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It's a national rare disease program that's been established, again, at the Sanford Research Foundation. And as director of CORDS, Liz is responsible for the administrative and strategic oversight of CORDS and its continued development on a national level and international level. Liz began working with the CORDS registry in September of 2010. She earned a bachelor's degree in pre-professional studies. Actually, she was a pre-med student, is that right? You got wise and didn't go to medical school. As well as theology, which is a very interesting combination. And she also minored in anthropology from University of Notre Dame. And then she subsequently completed coursework for a master's degree in public health and maternal and child health, and subsequently earned, I hope I'm saying this right, that degree from the University of Minnesota. So we are very honored to have Liz here tonight, who's going to tell us more about the CORDS, and I can tell you this is a great organization that we have already been part of, and I really want to tell you how much I think we should continue to do everything we can to support this. So thanks, Liz.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Grossfeld, for the invitation to attend, and thank you, Lindsay, and everybody who's helped organize the meeting. It's really a great honor to be here, and I was here 2 years ago, and I'm so happy to be back, so thanks again. I'm going to pull up my slideshow quick, and I have just a quick presentation because I know there are some people after me. But I thought it would be helpful to give an overview of our program, and I'm going to be here until Wednesday, so stop by. I'm at the registration desk with some information if you have any questions. I know some of you have stopped by already, so just know I'm here till Wednesday. But I just wanted to give you an idea. Most people will say, South Dakota, where is South Dakota? How many people have been to South Dakota before? Not bad. That's actually really good. So you know where it is. We're in Sioux Falls, so we're on the eastern side of the state, not near Mount Rushmore, you know, the presidents. But it's great to be here. Thought I'd give an introduction, talk about our mission and goals of the whole program, and talk about our partnership with 11Q Research and Resource Foundation. I'm going to tell you about the enrollment process. It's actually really brief, and you can do it on site for enrollment into the registry. And I'll give you some information on how we collect the data and disseminate it and help advance research, and some future steps as well. So just a little bit about Sanford Health. It is one of the 50 largest not-for-profit healthcare organizations in the U.S., the largest rural healthcare organization in the United States, and our whole catchment area is about the 5th largest state in the U.S. You can kind of see the big region up there. So it's a big area. So here's just kind of a breakdown of where research fits into things. We are located in the development and research side, and CORDS, the program, is actually within the Children's Health Research Center of Sanford Research. So CORDS was established by Dr. David Pierce in 2010. Dr. Pierce studies a really rare disease called Batten disease, actually the juvenile form, and really knew how a registry was really helpful to advancing research into that particular disease, especially when they were able to get to a clinical trial. Being able for researchers to know and understand the disease better and also contact people about research opportunities was really important because it happened that much faster. So he knew the value of a registry, but he also knew we have a lot of different diseases that just don't have a registry. So he wanted to start a central registry and an international registry for all rare diseases, so we can understand more about how diseases may be related. So the registry is available currently for all those who speak English, and I know we've got some people internationally that may not speak English, but we've got plans to translate our registry forms into other languages in the future. So CORDS is a central resource of rare disease data for all researchers wherever they may be if they have what's called IRB approval. So here's a quick video. I'm going to try to play it, and we'll see if the audio holds up. Bear with me for a second. But this just gives a good summary of our program.
There are about 30 million people in the United States affected by nearly 7,000 rare diseases. Connecting all these people is crucial, because each person plays a role in bringing us closer to the causes, treatments, and cures of rare diseases.
Can you hear it okay? No. All right. I'm just going to give you the link so you can watch it. It doesn't seem like the volume is working. So it's on our website, and I can send you the link. So CORDS, the mission is to accelerate research into rare diseases, and the goal is to set up a rare disease registry so we can create a resource of contact and clinical data on individuals with any rare disease so that we can compare across all diseases, and then also to provide a mechanism, as I mentioned, for researchers to contact individuals about research opportunities. So we have a pretty small team. Dr. Pierce, as I mentioned, is the principal investigator. He's the one that started CORDS. I'm the director, and we have a research associate on board. We've had a couple others that have been key members of our team over the past couple of years, and we also have a lot of internal support which make our program possible. So you can see the number of different groups within Sanford that have been a huge help. We also have a scientific advisory board, and they're the group that is responsible for reviewing the applications from researchers when they come in. So if a researcher wants to apply for access to CORDS, they'll submit an application, and then this group will just make sure that the research is sound and that we can then grant the researcher access. So CORDS really it's a registry to help a lot of different people. We've got researchers, patients and families that want to learn about research opportunities, and then patient groups who have an interest in starting a registry to learn more about the disease, and also not just the disease at one point in time, but the natural history of the disease, so we can start to understand what happens over time. So you might ask, what is a rare disease? So a rare disease is based on prevalence, and in the U.S. it's a disease affecting less than 200,000 people in the United States. And there are definitions, different definitions around the world, but they're pretty much the same throughout the world. So there's an organization called the Global Genes organization, they're based in Los Angeles. They put together a lot of facts about rare diseases, and they try to promote and raise awareness. And so there are about 7,000 known rare diseases, and they affect about 30 million people in the United States, 350 million people worldwide. So actually they're not that rare, really. That's kind of the paradox. 80% are genetic in origin, and 50% affect children. So one thing that we find pretty interesting is that approximately 50% of rare diseases do not have a specific foundation or group supporting them. So it's really great that 11Q Research and Resource is here to help provide information and advance research into the disease. So there is value in studying rare diseases. The diseases may be rare, but there are many. So also rare diseases and common diseases may have similar symptoms, and by studying rare diseases we can learn more about common diseases as well. So it really is important. And then you may ask, well, what is a patient registry? So it's an organized program for collection, storage, retrieval, and dissemination of a clearly defined set of data on identifiable individuals for a specific and specified purpose. So it's a really technical definition, but it does really cover exactly what we're trying to do, is create a resource of data and then make it available to those who can really utilize it and advance research. So why do we need patient registries? So they actually serve a lot of different purposes. For patients and families who are seeking information, researchers studying diseases and looking for information, epidemiologists who are trying to understand how many people are actually affected by a disease, and then of course, you've got on all ends, you've got drug companies that may be developing treatments. So there is David Meeker, who is the president and CEO of enzyme has a great quote about how the value of registries, and it's a really important thing that a rare disease community can do, as it provides critical disease knowledge, which makes the disease easier to study. So that's really, really important. And what makes our registry CORDS unique, there actually isn't anything like it. It's the first of its kind, it's a central resource, and we are able to collaborate with patient advocacy groups to set up a registry. Any researcher with IRB approval can apply for access, and we also provide an enrollment option for those who may not have a rare disease organization, and for also those who are maybe undiagnosed. They can also enroll in CORDS. There's no cost to participate, no cost for researchers to access. We are just doing this as a service basically to advance rare disease research. So CORDS works. I'll briefly go through this, but it looks kind of complicated, but it's not too terrible. We partner with patient advocacy groups, and then they usually let their membership know about the opportunity to enroll. You will have the opportunity to enroll in CORDS, and then researchers will contact us for access. They'll look into the database and see only de-identified data. They never see anything identifiable. And then what they do is let us know who they want to contact. We contact you on behalf of the researcher, and then it's always up to you to decide if you want to participate. So it's a pretty, this at least gives you an overview. So patients and families can enroll. I'm here for the next couple of days, as I mentioned, so if you want to stop by and fill out a questionnaire, that's all that's needed. It takes about 10 minutes to do. We will contact you annually just to update your information, and we'd also contact you about a research opportunity. So, like I said, it's always up to you to decide if you want to participate or not. So researchers, as I mentioned, they can submit an application which is approved by our scientific advisory board, and then they can log in and access de-identified data only. And what they can do is kind of look at similarities across different diseases, and also how the disease may progress over time. So it can be really a very powerful, robust set of data that can help their research. And as I mentioned, those other 2 points. So how is 11Q Research and Resource involved? They can set up a registry so that they can learn more about the disease. CORDS is an IRB approved registry, which means we have oversight. We can't just collect data on our own and keep it in a place where we basically have ethical oversight, so that we have a study protocol and consent forms and everything that we have to utilize. And we also have the software infrastructure for collecting the data, so it's secure and kept private, and we manage it at our Sanford Research Center. And we have IT personnel on site that help us with our web-based online platform. So here's a list of not all of our partners, but we have over 40 partners that are usually based in the US, but often internationally. And we have enrollment options. Like I said, we have an online platform, mail-based or in person. So like I said, you can certainly fill out your form here while I'm here at the conference. Online enrollment is very easy if you wanted to go online as well. It's a 2-step process though, so it might be better to do it on site here while I'm here to answer questions. But basically you'll read through an informed consent form and then complete a questionnaire. The questionnaire is really brief. It takes about 10 minutes. It includes these items that are listed here. And we basically use the data elements that the Office of Rare Disease Research recommend to help with data harmonization and data standardization. So as I mentioned, I've got all the materials out at the registration area, and it's a consent form and a questionnaire which you can pick up, read through the informed consent, and complete the questionnaire. And I'm here to answer any questions that you might have. So I just thought I'd give you a little bit of an update on the metrics. We have almost 1,500 people fully enrolled in the registry with 260 different rare diseases. So we've seen a lot of growth. People around the U.S. and around the world have enrolled in the registry. So you can see there's been a big jump in growth. That's mainly due to a registry we started for the National Ataxia Foundation, and that allowed for them to design a disease-specific questionnaire. Thought I'd touch on the registry software for those of you that are interested in the software. We obviously the data is kept very secure, but it provides a tool for us to collect it securely and helps us collect it so we can modify and display and report data as well. So we're in the process of designing a new software, which we're really thrilled about. So if you do get an email from us for those who are enrolled, you can enroll online now, and the process will be even nicer in the future. So other projects that I just thought I'd touch on, we've started a biobank which collects samples from patients diagnosed with rare diseases and basically can house them for patient groups and that may not be able to set up a biobank. We're also part of a International Rare Disease Research Consortium, which is really an interesting group. They're dedicated to two main objectives by the year 2020, and that's to deliver 200 new therapies for rare diseases and diagnostic tools for most. So Dr. Pierce, who started CORDS, is on the executive committee, and I'm on the patient registry working group. I've been the co-chair of that group, which has really been great. We have an annual symposium, and this is my second to last slide. We were very fortunate to have Dr. Grossfeld come and speak about 11q syndrome a couple years ago now. So we were really glad we got into South Dakota in February, so he had to dig out his winter coat to come bear through that winter weather. But our purpose is to raise awareness of different rare diseases and research efforts. So our next one's coming up next February. So in summary, CORDS is a central patient registry for all rare diseases. Enrollment can be completed in person. Like I said, please stop by and ask me questions if you have any. I'll be here until Wednesday at about noon. So thank you again for having me. It's such an honor to be here, and looking forward to the next few days. Thank you.
I'm from the University of California at San Francisco. I'm just going to get my presentation up. Let's see. Okay, so sort of the common name of our project is called FaceBase, and right now we're actually on FaceBase 2. The formal name of our project is what's in the box there, which is, it's a mouthful, Developing 3D Craniofacial Morphometry Data and Tools to Transform Dysmorphology. I think it's ridiculous. But it's a really cool study. So basically what we're doing, just to give you a quick overview, is we want to see if 3D images can be used to help diagnose genetic syndromes in the future. So babies that are being born now, and later, even kids being diagnosed, we think that maybe a 3D image can be enough just to show that they have a genetic syndrome. And these would be genetic syndromes that have a component of craniofacial dysmorphia. And what that means is it's altered development of the face and cranium. So that's just kind of the head and face structures. And I'm going to be using those words a lot in this presentation, so bear with me. Okay. So just a quick overview. FaceBase is a large international group project aimed at learning how the face and cranium develop. Previous work has been done in Tanzania on Bantu children, and I'll have a slide on that later. The purpose is that we would like to improve how we diagnose genetic syndromes. Our goals are creating a diagnostic tool. We will tell you how we're going to use the 3D images. I'll talk about the current study and how to participate. All right, so what is FaceBase? The FaceBase has a website. It's, like I said, it's an international group project, and basically researchers can upload different data from all their different projects. Some projects are on mice, some are just using stem cells, just all kinds of different stuff. And they're all going into this FaceBase hub. It's a big website. The reason we're doing this is because there's something called data sharing, and data sharing is when projects that are paid for by public funds can have more uses, because if one researcher gets funding to get that data, they can upload it and then many researchers can use it from just the one study. So you collect data once, but you can use it for many years after that. It's a really cool thing. The database is kept and maintained by the National Institute of Dental and Craniofacial Research, or the NIDCR, which is part of the National Institutes of Health. General information can be found on this website, listed there. It's www.facebase.org. It's pretty simple. So this is FaceBase 1. This is our first project with FaceBase, and now we're on FaceBase 2 technically. For our first study, like I said, we collected 6,300 Bantu children in Tanzania. We got their pictures, we gave them lollipops, and some of them we had to be careful because they were getting back in line twice to get their pictures taken again. So that was interesting. And that showed us some pretty interesting stuff. These kids didn't have any craniofacial dysmorphia, but we were able to distinguish between Caucasian kids, because we also collected Caucasian kids, and African children. So that was pretty interesting. So why are we doing this study? What's the whole purpose? So we think that diagnostic methods can be improved. Diagnosing genetic conditions based on just looking at the craniofacial dysmorphia, so without doing molecular genetic testing, is actually very difficult, and it's pretty much considered an art still. So manual measurements of the head and face, like when doctors take little calipers and they use the measuring tape around your head, that stuff is prone to a lot of human error. It's not super accurate, so we're trying to see if we can improve on this stuff. Many subjective descriptions are used, and a lot of the times the notes that doctors take can be sometimes open to interpretation. Not that they're not good notes or anything, but some 2D photography and computerized databases have been implemented, but they were still subject to errors in facial landmarking. So that's when people place different points on the face for, like, you know, where the insides of your eyes are, where the tip of your nose is. It's pretty complicated. So like I said, our goals with this project is to use 3D photography and other technologies developed in the last decade to turn dysmorphology into a science instead of just a clinical art. Some of these technologies include improved analysis of complex 3D shapes. So we want to try to distinguish between a human head and an egg. It's actually pretty tough, so we're getting there though. Statistical methods that can process various components of shape variation, and we would like to use improved imaging systems. And the first step of our research study is to build a library of 3D facial scans associated with specific genetic syndromes, such as the various 11q deletion syndromes, that can be later used to make a prototype diagnostic tool. So specifically, what is it that some of you have already done this today, but what is it that those of you who haven't done it yet, what will you need to do? So first, you need to sign up for an appointment, and sign-up sheets are outside on the table in the like 11Q conference lobby. And when you get to the appointment, I'll talk to you. We'll go over the consent forms. You guys will sign them, and I'll also sign them. And I'll answer any questions you might have. We go over various forms, such as the consent itself, which is where I tell you all about the study. We go over the HIPAA form, which is basically the patient privacy form, and the patient bill of rights, which tells you what your rights are as a human research subject. There's also a medical information form where we will get some information such as physician information so that we can have your genetic testing data. The consent form also lists the benefits and risks of the study and what to expect. Overall, we get to the most important part of this whole thing, apart from, of course, consenting, is taking the pictures. So we collect 4 different poses. We collect the front of the face, both sides of the face, and as well as a chin view. And it takes about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the number of questions you have and whether or not the subject can sit still. Each participant is given a study number so that all the individuals, are de-identified. The personal information of each subject is kept confidential. I keep it locked, and so no one can find that out. And the 3D images will eventually be added to the database, and other researchers who have requested access and have been granted access by the National Institutes of Health will be able to have access to the data. So this is the picture of the 3D camera. It's very light sensitive, so I'll need to make the room dim before I take the pictures. We ask that long hair be tied back and a headband be worn to keep hair from falling into the face, and then we'll collect the 4 poses. So this slide is kind of a complicated slide. I wanted to leave it out, but it's really nice because it can tell you what facial landmarking is. So this is just sort of for your information. You don't really need to know this stuff, but this is the blue image there. That's actually a child from Tanzania. So that's sort of like a facial, that's the 4 poses that we took, and we've meshed them together to create a merged image. And I'm not entirely sure how they choose the facial landmarks. It sort of makes sense though. It's all the main points of the face. Several of the technologies that we're using to sort of make this whole thing work is dense surface modeling and geometric morphometrics. If you guys really are curious, I'll talk to you about it when you come and make an appointment with me. Okay, so what will happen to your photo and data? So after we take your 3D photo, we will analyze the 3D image, and I actually do that at a later date, back when I'm in San Francisco. So we'll place anatomic landmarks, just like all those little dots you just saw, and we'll analyze the 3D images. And after a while, we'll be able to test whether just a new patient with an unknown genetic syndrome, we can test whether it will actually yield the correct result. That's why we need your genetic data, is so that we can see if just taking a picture of the person can actually give us the right, genetic syndrome. And it will actually be a list of most likely syndromes. It won't be a definite 100% thing. That's why we still, we still need the doctor to decide. Okay, so wrapping up, key points. FaceBase 2 is our current research study, and it's part of a larger international project called FaceBase, which I talked to you about. We aim to improve how we diagnose genetic syndromes, which include abnormal facial development. So some genetic syndromes actually don't include any abnormal facial development, so those technically don't qualify for this study. We need participants to take 3D photos, and so that's where you guys all come in. So let me know if you're interested. I'm here until tomorrow. I'll be here through the rest of tomorrow, so just let me know. And my name's Elizabeth, and my contact information should be, I think it's somewhere around here, but yeah, you can always talk to Lindsay and ask. Anyways, thank you for having me. I hope that you guys all enjoyed your meal.
All right, now to conclude our evening, we have a special speaker and a special musical performance by 2 of our 11Q kids. And so first of all, well, they're not kids anymore, they're adults. So first of all, we're going to hear a talk by Amy Barrett, all the way from England. She's going to speak to us about a day in her life. And then when Amy is done, Tristan Brannon is going to give us a musical performance. So.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Amy. I am 27 years old and I have Jacobson's syndrome. I live in Stafford, which is in England. Here is a picture of my house. I'm here with my mom, Val,
Where's the rest of it gone? Oh, that's it. Oh.
my dad, Nigel, my sister Sophie and her boyfriend, Josh. I thought I would tell you a little bit about my life with 11Q. The doctors found out that I had 11Q when I was 1. The geneticist said that I would never walk or talk. How wrong was he? Once my mum and dad came to terms with the diagnosis, they treated me as if I didn't have a rare chromosome abnormality. Apart from hospital visits, physiotherapist visits, speech therapist visits, portraits visits, and educational psychiatrist visits. I had a normal childhood. When I was 4, I went to a special needs nursery until I was 6. Then I went to a mainstream school until I was 9. Then I went to 3 different special needs schools. Each of the schools I attended to focused on different aspects of my life, my education, academics, social and life skills. Since I was 18, I've been attending a project that is set up for young adults with learning disabilities called Trinity Skills for Life. This was set up by one of my teachers because she realised that at the age of 18 there was very little in the community for us. I have a lot of friends at the project and love going there. This is what I do each week. Monday morning I do horse care. I groom the horses, tidy the yard and sometimes go shopping to buy the supplies.
Oh, sorry.
In the afternoon I do independent living. I've learned how to learn about money and how to budget and how to learn to do the laundry. In the afternoon, on Tuesday morning, I'm in a signed choir. I've learnt to sign lots of songs, The Rose and What Makes You Beautiful. In the afternoon, I do performing arts. At the moment, we are practicing for our World War I play. Wednesday morning, I do card making. I've made cards for Mother's Day, Father's Day, birthday, Christmas and birthdays. We also sell them in local shops. In the afternoon, I used to do hair and beauty. I have learnt how to do hand massages and manicures. Thursday in the morning, I do art. I have made pom-poms and door hangings and lots of paintings. In the afternoon, at the moment we do short courses. I do cricket. We've also done ballroom dancing and bowls and yoga. On Friday, I go to a work placement at a local hair salon where I make drinks for the clients and tidy up. I have lots of friends there. This is, as you may have seen in my book, I have lots of hobbies and pastimes. Football, West Bromwich Albion, motor racing, F1, DTM and MotoGP. Reading. I had a Kindle for my birthday. I like surfing the net to find out information. Watching TV. I especially like How I Met Your Mother. I like listening to Ollie Murs and One Direction, and I went to see One Direction. I also have 2 PAs, Lauren and Jackie. I work with Lauren on a Tuesday from 3 till 6. We go to the gym, we go shopping, we do cooking. She is also giving me singing lessons. I work with Jackie on a Wednesday from 3 till 8. We do lots of different activities: shopping, cooking, ironing, artwork, and walking Charlie the dog. I'm very lucky to be able to go to lots of different conferences, meeting lots of people who I can chat on Facebook with. In England, we go to a unique conference which is for rare chromosome abnormalities. There is an European conference which meets in Munich in Pforzheim in Germany every other year. I meet up with my European 11Q family. And of course, I love coming to San Diego to meet up with you guys to share my life experience. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy hearing about my life so far with 11Q.
Wait a minute. It's going to start. Just that.
I must thank Josh for preparing my PowerPoint presentation. Thank you.
Can you hear this? Is anything happening? No.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? I sing my solo at my very own Performing Arts Center, and I won third place.
Bray Idol.
For Bray Idol, and I like to perform it to all of you guys. And it's my pleasure for doing it to all of you. Night time sharpens, heightens each sensation. Darkness wakes and stirs the imagination. Silently the senses abandon their defenses. Open up your mind. stillness of the music of the night. Let your mind start a journey through a strange new world. Leave all thoughts of the room and you before. Let your soul take you where you long to be. Only then can you belong to me. Floating, falling, sweet intoxication. Touch me, trust me, savory sensation. Let the dreams begin. Let your darker side give in to the power of the music that I write. The power of the music of the night. You alone can make my song take flight. Help me make the music of the night.